Okay, Dave, talk about what the off season has been like for you so far, leading up to the beginning of your first head coaching position at NIU.
I can't complain at all about the way the players have worked, the coaches have worked, the fans have taken us in, the administration's guided and helped us through it, and it's been obviously a learning process at times, trying to get to know a new place. But all the coaches now are moved in, their families are here, their children are here, the players know what we're doing, and so it's taken time. Seems like 6 months has been 6 years at times, but I know we're all excited to start playing the game that we love.
And you've done a lot of non-football things, I understand, jumping out of an airplane and doing the seventh inning stretch at Wrigley Field and various other experiences, right?
Well, we're trying to use as much or as many different ways to get people excited about coming and watching us. And one of the things that intrigued me about coming to NIU was just the location. I felt like 55 miles from the third largest city in the country that we should be able to get a lot of people in our stands. And so when we looked at different ways to do that, we tried to use my age maybe as a way to, I'm not afraid to do a lot of things, and I'm a little bit adventuresome, so I said let's try to get out there and appeal to the 30 and 40 crowd a little bit, maybe get them in the stands. So
Great. Now here we are, July 26th, and still a ways away, and a lot can happen and will happen before the season starts. But what are your thoughts here at this point about your team?
Well, I know they had a great summer, just talking to the players. They're excited about where they're at. They feel strong. They feel like they're in good shape. I know they're excited to get back out, and this is a place where they had a bad memory last year, and I know they want to be back here again. It seems like a lot could happen, but at the same time, just getting on the field and being with them again. We're so restricted in what we're allowed to do with them over the summer. I'm just excited to coach the guys again.
Of course, there's a lot of local and national focus and attention on the Wisconsin game on September 17th, which I'm sure you're excited about, and the players are excited about playing at Soldier Field. But you've got a first game against Army that you really want you guys focusing on right now, right?
Yeah, everyone wants to talk about the third game. I'm telling everyone the same thing. I'd rather be 2-0 than 0-2 walking into that game. So my attention is Army, and I've coached against Coach Ellerson before. He's a really good football coach. I know he's got a bunch of players at Army that love to play the game, and they're going to be disciplined, and that's going to be a really good football game for us.
And you've got your staff assembled, and I'm sure you've had meetings and talks with all these guys. How's that working out?
The guys are in the office as we speak. I know, trying to be organized and have everything ready, and we'll get together Thursday and Friday this week and try to get everything ready for the players. But I know they're excited to get back out there and go.
Chandler Harnish is already on a number of national watch lists based on the fine season he had last year. Can you expect any more from him than what he showed last season?
I wasn't here, so it's hard for me to answer that, but I expect a lot out of him. I expect a lot out of all of our seniors. And I told all of our players the same thing. The best teams I've been on have their seniors playing their best football. So whatever Chandler did a year ago, I'm sure he'll tell you he's got more in him.
Yeah. Any other guys that you're looking at to be sort of difference makers, playmakers, offense and defense?
I think Trevor Olson, even though he's not a playmaker per se, but our left tackle, I think, is a tremendous football player. And you may not see it in the stands, but I know we'll see it as coaches. He's a guy that's got to do a phenomenal job, and our center, Scott Weddage, as well. If those two guys are doing what they can do, that makes Chandler and the running back's jobs a lot easier. I think we have some receivers in Willie Clark and Martell Moore that can make a big difference in some games. With our run game, people are going to have to be able to stop what we do running the football, and that opens some things up for them on the perimeter. And then defensively, Sean Progar is a guy that in the spring was very difficult for our offense to block, and obviously they have a lot back on offense already.
Of course, you've been anchored in the Big Ten for the last several years. What are you hearing about the MAC as a conference, its strengths?
Well, I've competed against them every year when I was at Wisconsin, and we always knew, based on who we were playing, that we were going to play against some talented NFL caliber type athletes. And Northern has always had my respect just because of the style of football that they play. They're a smash mouth, tough, hard edge team, and that's why when the job opened up, I said that fits my personality. I don't have to go in there and change the way people walk and talk. And so, you know, I knew what I was getting into when I got into the league. There's tremendous skill here. I mean, there were 15 players in the Super Bowl last year from the MAC conference. So you know you're playing against elite. It's just not as many of them on one field at a time, but every week you're going to see a guy that's going to play on Sunday for sure.
Of course, getting back to the Big Ten, of course, the Chicago Bears drafted Gabe Carimi. What do you remember about him going against him in practice with your unit?
Well, as a senior, you know, Gabe was a guy that was very difficult to beat. You know, he's a student of the game. He watched a lot of tape. He's a hard worker. He's from a good family. When he came out of high school, he was a really good basketball player, a really good athlete, and he worked himself into being what he is now, you know. So when you have a kid that talented with work ethic, it's pretty special.
All right. Well, good luck to you this
All
season,
right.
Coach.
Thank you.
We've seen a lot of you.
Yeah, appreciate it.